2 weeks ago, I received my official acceptance to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, where I hope to study biochemistry. Even though I've still got a few semesters ahead of me, well, years probably, I'm not going to be the same student when I enter Madison that I was when I started high school, well, college rather, 2 years ago. Largely, that's going to be thanks to UW-Waukesha. In high school, I was a BC student. Didn't really care. I hated school. I dreaded getting out of bed in the morning, and I counted the minutes until the end of the day. I had no plans for college at all. The idea of putting myself in debt to go to school for even longer, willingly, sounded like a nightmare. But after a failed attempt to move to Europe and getting caught in seemingly an endless loop of earning $8 an hour at Starbucks, I decided maybe it was time to give college a second thought. I'd first heard about UW-Waukesha from a friend of mine who was going here just to pick up a few gen ed credits on the cheap on his way out to UW-Madison. The low tuition costs combined with the kind of transferability of the credits were what ultimately made me, after a year and a half out of high school, take the plunge and enroll here. I didn't have very high hopes for the place. I figured it's just a tiny commuter school where I only had to go there because I wasn't smart enough or rich enough to go to a real four-year school. I had no idea what I wanted to do, so naturally I said I wanted to be an engineer. But when I took my placement tests and they told me I should go to first semester algebra, I didn't exactly have very high hopes for that. But then something kind of crazy happened. I got an A in first semester algebra, and then I went on to get an A in pre-calculus as well. In fact, all my classes I was getting A's. Somehow I had gone from being a BC student in high school that barely coasted by to being a straight A college student. I had even taken to leading weekly study groups. As the semesters went on, these study groups got bigger and bigger as I made more and more friends here. So much for this being some cold, unfriendly commuter school. It was during one of these study groups that my professor of zoology, Dr. Powers, he's in the back there, a former professor of zoology of mine, now a good friend of mine, saw me leading a study group and said, hey, do you want to be the tutor for next semester's zoology class? I accepted, and I went to go meet with my new boss, and I got offered positions as a tutor of chemistry, math, and writing as well. Really, tutoring here has proven to be the most rewarding experience I've ever had. There really aren't words to describe the feeling you get when someone that you've helped comes running up to you in the hallway, beaming, showing you the chemistry test that they just totally rocked. I'm not the same student that I was in high school. I never really dreaded getting out of bed anymore, save for days like yesterday. And really, I end up staying late most days. I think I have my professors to thank for that. Their passions for what they teach were really what changed who I am to who I was to who I am today. They taught me not to fear, but to love the classes I was in. They taught me to really enjoy learning, and I've since decided to change my major to biochemistry, where I hope to do research because I never want to stop learning. I try to think back to that passion that my teachers have every single time I'm working with my students, because I know how powerful, firsthand, that attitude can be. UW-Waukesha has had an overwhelmingly positive effect on my life, and it's for that reason that it's a little bittersweet that this is my last semester. I'm going to miss all the friends that I've made here. I'm going to miss all the professors whose passions for what they do is downright contagious. It's these same professors that have led me to think that maybe one day I wouldn't mind teaching a class or two of my own, which is a dangerous idea because apparently education is a really, really bad way to put your college degree towards. But I have decided that I would love to go back and be a teacher someday after I spend a fair amount of time in the world of biochemical research. As I get ready to go to Madison, I wonder, what's it going to be like? I've really come to expect my classes to be really closely knit and really almost personalized. I've come to expect my professors to know me by name and be able to put my name to a face. Is that going to happen at Madison? Who knows? But my time here at UW-Waukesha has made me no stranger to having my expectations utterly exceeded. Thank you.